Hello friends, welcome back to Quick Tech. In this lecture, we are going to see the collections in Python. There are four types of collections in Python, that is list, tuple, set and dictionary. So among these, we are going to see the list in this lecture. So these collections are also called sequence types. You can do certain things with all the sequence types. These operations include indexing, slicing, adding, multiplying, finding an element, and Python has built in function for finding the length of these collections, finding the smallest element, finding greatest element from these uh, collections. So let's start our first collection, that is list. Okay, so what is a list? No, the list in Python is used to store the sequence of various types of data, or we can say a list is a collection of heterogeneous types of data. So we can also put a list into sorry another list. For example, here I am creating a simple list 1 2 3 4 A B, like this. Okay, here. This is an a list. If I want to print this list, you can see that these elements, these are all are different types of elements, and these all elements will be stored in a list. So that's why we are called, the list is a heterogeneous collection of data. You may have also noticed that when we put data into a list in a particular order, it says in that order when we print or use the list in a for loop. For example, I am going to use for item in simple list, and here I am going to print item. Okay, you can see the all elements are printed in a sequence. Okay, so list is doing that because it saves order. So we call it order. We can retrieve particular item from a list based on their index or their position. Okay. Printing, let's say printing a particular item in the list, print simple list of, I'm going to print an element. Okay, you can see the element on the second index, because 3 is on second index, 1 is on zeroth index, 2 is on second index, first index, and 3 is on your second index. So that's why it printed 3. We can also retrieve a slice of items from a list. Let's see, print simple list. Okay, just typing. Okay. So, and now I want to print a slice. Okay, so I'm going to print it like this. You can see it prints from index 1 to index 3, because the 4 shows that the range of the slice before the fourth element, between uh, starting from the element first and ends before element 1. So Python also provides us a facility to access the list from the end instead of beginning by using negative index. So let's see the last element indexed on -1. Okay, so let's see uh, simple index. Uh, just do it. Print simple list, and here I'm going to print last index. Here you can see it printed the last element from the list. Also we can print, also we can use this step size to print the steps in a list. For example, print simple simple list, and here I want to print it just this slice. Here you can see. Okay, another example, list for 1 minus 1. Okay, you can see here what happened. Okay, in the next we can also use for loop with the range function. We will just look at for item in simple list. Okay, and here I'm going to use the length function. Okay, sorry, I'm using here range simple list. Here I'm using range simple list, and first in range object we should give the starting point. Here I'm giving the starting location from 0, and my ending location is length of simple list, because here we don't know what will be the length of this list. So I'm using here length function to calculate the total elements present in that particular list. And here I'm giving the steps, how many steps should be used in the for loop. Here I'm using item. Okay, you can see here it printed the elements present in my list. Okay, my list contains 7 elements, but I have given here the steps. It printed only 6 number here. If I'm giving here 1, then it will print, okay, 7 elements starting from 0 to 6. It's called calculated with 7. The range function generates the numbers between first and second arguments using third argument as a step. So we can also use indexing or slicing to replace items in the list. For example, if we want to replace any item, just like simple list of -1 with, I'm going to replace it can see I have replaced the last element. You can see the last elements is replaced by these oranges. Okay. We can also replace more than one element at a time. Look at the example. Sim- Simple list, and here I'm going to replace 2 3 and equals to, and I'm here I'm giving it carrots, mangoes. Here you can see the list is updated with the new elements. You can see the carrots and mango are replaced on 2 and 3 element. Okay. Since we can modify list after they created, we call them mutable. Okay. Because keep remember, lists are mutable. Some Python data types are immutable, meaning you cannot change them after creating. Immutable means if you created any collection, then you cannot change them, and mutable means you can change them anytime. Okay, so uh, another way we can mutate a list is to append new items. Okay. For example, if you want to mutate a list, here we replace the existing elements. But if you want to add some another elements, then you can append some other elements to your list. Here, I'm just adding a simple element. Now, I want to add another element into that list. Okay, here you can see, and now I'm going to print it. Let's see, the elements of other elements are added to the list. So you can also get the different methods using on the list by using dir function, and here just write your name of list, and you will find all the functions methods you can use on the list. Okay. So since list can contains list, we have to be careful uh, about coding about adding multiple items to our list. Instead of append, we might want to use extend. So here we can also extend our list by another list. For example, I have this simple list assigned to this element, and then I'm using extend the list. First, I'm giving an element fish, okay, and second, I'm giving an element salt. Okay, so that two elements that I'm going to add. Okay, you can see the execution is successful. Now I'm going to print the list. Here you can see the another elements fish and salt are added to uh, uh, our existing list. So we can also mutate the list by using sort functions. The list dot sort, here no error, and I'm going to print. You can see the list is sorted. So you cannot use the sort function on your heterogeneous data. it can be work on only your homogeneous data elements. So this is the another way we can mutate a list. So that's it from the video.